There is a timeless rhythm that connects the unseen forces of our thoughts with the tangible outcomes of our lives. It is the same rhythm that Napoleon Hill captured in his immortal teachings and the same universal melody that the law of attraction continues to hum quietly through the corridors of our existence. How the law of attraction echoes in Hill's philosophy is not merely a book about success. It is a bridge between mind and manifestation, between spiritual energy and practical achievement, between the invisible and the visible. The book opens with a gentle yet powerful truth: we are all creators, whether we realize it or not. Every thought we hold, every emotion we nurture, every belief we sustain, these become the brushstrokes painting the reality we experience. Hill, decades ago, taught that thoughts are things. The law of attraction mirrors this exact principle. Whatever we think about consistently, we bring about. The book draws this parallel beautifully, reminding us that success is not accidental, it is deliberate creation. Through reflective storytelling, the author takes us deep into the landscapes of Hill's most profound works: Think and Grow Rich, The Master Key to Riches, and Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude, and reveals how each of them whispers the same spiritual truth echoed in the law of attraction. Hill never called it by that name, but his philosophy vibrates with the same frequency: what the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. One of the core lessons the book explores is the power of belief. Belief is not a mere wish, it is a vibration of certainty. Hill described it as faith, and the law of attraction calls it alignment. The two are identical in essence. When your inner world becomes aligned with what you desire, when doubt dissolves and faith takes root, the universe begins to move silently in your favor. The book tells the story of a young man who, inspired by Hill's words, envisioned himself as a successful entrepreneur. At first, he was laughed at for his idealism. But he didn't retreat. Every night, he visualized his store bustling with customers. Every morning, he spoke affirmations that anchored his belief. Within years, the dream that once existed only in his imagination stood as a physical business, thriving, tangible, and real. The world calls it coincidence. The wise call it the law of attraction in action. The book also delves into the emotional frequency of desire. Hill emphasized that desire is the starting point of all achievement. The law of attraction expands this idea. It tells us that desire infused with emotion is magnetic. It is not enough to simply want something, we must feel it with every fiber of our being. Emotion is the signal we send to the universe. A weak signal brings little return. A strong one, fueled by gratitude, passion, and purpose, pulls our dreams closer with every heartbeat. The book reflects deeply on this truth, guiding readers to not just think their desires, but to emotionally inhabit them, to live as though they already exist. Another powerful thread woven throughout the book is the role of the subconscious mind. Hill taught that the subconscious acts as the bridge between thought and reality, receiving suggestions from the conscious mind and translating them into action. The law of attraction teaches the same principle with different language. It is our vibrational field, our inner energy, that communicates directly with the universe. Whatever dominates the subconscious becomes our lived experience. The book encourages a daily practice of mental hygiene, feeding the subconscious only with ideas of abundance, love, courage, and faith. Just as we wouldn't plant weeds in a garden we hope will bloom, we must not plant fear or limitation in the fertile soil of our minds. Perhaps one of the most profound insights in the book is the idea that failure is not the opposite of attraction, it is part of it. Hill often reminded us that every adversity carries within it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. The law of attraction echoes this truth, teaching that the universe never denies us, it redirects us. What appears as a closed door is often the gentle guidance toward a better path. The book recounts several moments from Hill's life when rejection and despair were not signs of defeat but stepping stones toward his mission. It reminds us that our emotional reaction to obstacles determines whether we repel or attract our desired outcomes. A grateful heart magnetizes blessings, a bitter heart repels them. As the narrative unfolds, the author connects Hill's concept of definiteness of purpose with the law of attraction's call for clarity. You cannot attract what you are not clear about. Hill wrote, "There is one quality which one must possess to win, and that is definiteness of purpose, the knowledge of what one wants, and a burning desire to possess it." The book expands on this with examples of individuals who wandered aimlessly through life, unsure of what they truly wanted, and thus attracting confusion and stagnation. But once they defined their purpose with precision, whether it was peace, wealth, love, or contribution, the universe seemed to rearrange itself to meet them halfway. The message is clear: clarity creates movement, and movement creates manifestation. A recurring motif in both Hill's philosophy and the law of attraction is gratitude. Gratitude is the spiritual magnet that draws more to be grateful for. Hill saw gratitude as a state of mind that transforms challenges into lessons. The law of attraction interprets it as the highest emotional frequency, one that signals to the universe, "I am ready for more." The book beautifully narrates stories of people who shifted their entire life circumstances simply by practicing daily gratitude. When they stopped focusing on what was missing and began celebrating what was already present, life responded with abundance. Gratitude is not merely a feeling, it is a doorway to miracles. The author also reflects on the company we keep and the energy we share. Hill's famous mastermind principle teaches that when two or more minds harmonize toward a definite purpose, their energy multiplies. The law of attraction calls this the amplification of vibration. The book encourages readers to be intentional about their relationships, to surround themselves with people whose energy uplifts, whose thoughts inspire, and whose dreams align with growth. Energy is contagious. If you wish to attract greatness, you must be among those who believe in it. In a particularly moving section, the book explores faith in action. It is not enough to merely think and feel, one must act. Hill taught that faith without action is merely daydreaming. The law of attraction, often misunderstood as passive wishing, actually thrives on inspired action, the kind that flows naturally from belief. The book explains that when our thoughts, emotions, and actions are aligned, the universe responds instantly. Imagine a musician tuning every string of an instrument to perfect harmony, only then does the melody emerge. Likewise, when thought, emotion, and action vibrate in unison, manifestation becomes inevitable. The author uses poignant real-life examples: an artist who painted his future before living it, a mother who attracted healing for her child through unwavering faith, an elderly man who rebuilt his life after loss by focusing only on the light that remained. Each story is a mirror reflecting the same divine law, that we do not attract what we want, but what we are. Transformation begins within. By the final chapters, the book brings the reader full circle, merging Hill's practical philosophy with the spiritual depth of the law of attraction. It reveals that the true purpose of this law is not merely to accumulate wealth or success, but to awaken the creative power within us. The riches we seek, love, peace, prosperity, fulfillment, are simply reflections of our inner state. When we learn to master the inner world, the outer world follows in harmony. The author closes with a deeply reflective truth: Hill's teachings and the law of attraction are not two different philosophies, they are two languages describing the same universal principle. One speaks in the logic of the mind, the other in the poetry of the soul. Together, they form a complete guide for conscious living. They teach us that we are never victims of circumstance, but sculptors of destiny, never helpless observers, but divine co-creators in an intelligent universe that listens, feels, and responds. And perhaps that is the essence of both Hill's vision and the law of attraction's echo, to remind us that success is not something we chase, but something we allow. It is not about forcing results, but aligning with the energy of what we desire. When our thoughts are clear, our emotions pure, and our actions inspired, the universe becomes a mirror reflecting our deepest truths. In the stillness of faith, in the gratitude of the present, and in the courage to believe beyond what we see, lies the secret Hill spent his life uncovering, and the same secret the law of attraction continues to whisper into every awakened heart: you become what you think, and you attract what you feel.